this is the person that does not want you to have more
Yeah.
success.
Oh, yep.
They don't want you to have more opportunities. They don't want you to have more physical things than they have. They compare their lives to you. The person who said, like, if you tell them, hey, I got a new job, this person is like, yeah, but I got a new job that pays way more than you with benefits. And I got the golden key to the executive bathroom. And I don't have to worry about people hearing me if I have bubble guts. I bet you don't have that. And it's like, oh, wow. I didn't even tell you how much I made. And you already know that your job pays you more. All right. Okay, friend.
Welcome, everyone, to the Brunch with Kiki and KC podcast, where we're serving up real, raw, empowering food and drink for thought while chatting about life, relationships, and providing perspectives which could make a difference in your life right now. My name is KC.
And I'm Kiki.
And we are so excited to have you as our weekly brunch guests and share great conversation with you.
All righty. Here's a reminder of how our podcast works. Every month, we focus on a particular series, and each week we will discuss a specific subject within the series. For those of you who joined us for our first episode, we focused on getting our minds right as an individual when we discussed the topic of how to be your own best friend. This week, our topic is get your mind right, get your friends right.
That's right. Before we get into our topic today, we want to encourage you to subscribe, like, comment, and share this podcast. Share it with your family and friends, co-workers, or whomever you like. We're always dropping gems, and you never know who could benefit from what we discuss. Also, please remember to click on the link in the show notes section of the podcast, or if you're listening to us on YouTube, click the link in the description section to get your free copy of the major points we discuss in every podcast episode. This way, if you're listening to us while driving or multitasking, you don't have to worry about missing any of the major points that we're putting down just for you. Also, please feel free to comment and let us know what you learned from this particular episode. We'd love to interact with you, so we definitely look forward to hearing from you.
And now, let's get this party started with our question of the day. Casey?
What's going on, Kiki?
What question, my friend, do you have for us today?
The question of the day is, how much do your friendships impact your life? And what kind of impact do you have on your friendships?
Well, when I think about the impact my friendships have on my life, I think about the importance of having friends that are positive individuals who I can feel like I have a safe space to talk to them about different things. KC, you're definitely one of those friends who I feel like I can have that.
Same to you, Kiki.
Well, thank you. You know, I feel like I have that safe space where I can talk with you, and that it's a positive impact on my life because I don't have to worry about bottling in my emotions. So just having friends that I can really talk to and be real with, that's important. And again, it helps with my sanity. You know,
that is a positive thing. Yes, sanity is good. Yes,
empowering friends. And what kind of impact do I have on my friends? I believe I have the same. Definitely making sure that I create a space where friends can talk to me about things. Friends can laugh with me. I'm big on telling jokes. So how can I be there to make you laugh on a day where you don't want to laugh? But then also just it's important for me to be a part of that village of friends because, you know, they say it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
But it takes a village to just survive.
That's right.
So I do believe I have a positive impact on my friends as well.
Yes.
What about you, my friend?
Well, you know, friends impact my life. Oh boy. It's impacted it in good ways, negative ways. And that's exactly why I see the importance of making sure you surround yourself with good people that are going in the right direction, you know, from childhood, even as an adult. I've seen the impact that my friendships have had. And so, yeah, I mean, they have a great impact. So I'm very, very, very glad to say that at this point, I've pretty much, I'm not going to say I've mastered it. But for the most part, the people in my life that I call friend are good people. You know what I'm saying? They're people who I know I support them, they'll support me. That kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like, I'm just thinking about years of sometimes, when growing up, my mom would be like, oh, this person's not your friend, that's your acquaintance versus. So those different types of distinctions help me to kind of see friend. I hold friend in high regard. I do.
Yes.
Maybe even higher than what most other people would, but I don't see that as a bad thing. That was a long-winded answer for the first question. We probably didn't answer the question, but what kind of impact do I have on my friendship? I hope that it's a positive one. I'm not going to say I'm not perfect like any other person is. I'm sure it's not positive all the time, but for the most part, I hope that overall, when I look back on my life, that most likely it's a positive. I was never the kind of friend that was purposely like bringing people down. I was never that person. You know what I mean? I was never that person. So for the most part, I can look back with pride on my life and say that I always tried to be an empowering friend. I've always tried to be a supportive friend, to the point where even my own mother would tell me stop. Literally, she would, this comes up because she was reminding me of someone asking me to do something that that was just ridiculous, because someone was asking her to do something ridiculous. But anyways, and it was reminding me that there were times where she had to literally be like, you're doing too much. Don't you see what you're doing? Like, stuff like that. So I've always tried to do things, be helpful, be supportive, and I hope that is the impact that my friends have had from my friendship with them.
Yeah, I have.
Well, that's good, Kiki. Thank you very much.
And that's a good way to go into the topic of the health and the wealth of a friendship. Discussing what types of friends are we attracting, understanding that some of our friendships or some friendships may not be healthy. And then taking into consideration that maybe the friends we are attracting, it depends on where we're at in our lives. And that's why we attract certain friends.
Yes. And why it's important for us to be aware of the type of friends we're attracting, no matter what age we are and what stage we're at. So you can have friends that pressure you to do things when you're 10 and when you're 70. I hope my mother will never listen to this. But it's true. It's so true. You think that, when you get older, people know better and they will stop that kind of behavior. Not true. But yes, I agree with everything you said, and I cannot wait for us to get into this topic because we're going in today.
Yes, we are. And we even took the time to break down the types of friends that we either at some point maybe we attracted or that we've witnessed other people having.
Yes.
Friends that we not friends, friends, but we did our best to remove certain types of friends from our lives.
Or avoid them.
List.
Yep, avoid them.
Yeah,
In some cases, like the plague, I would see them coming and then start running in the other direction. That was me.
Pressing that universal red button that you talked about last episode.
Yes, pressing the red button on them, cutting it off at the head. Don't let it get any further than it needs to. Yes.
So we took the time out to pretty much, we'll say worst to best, but worst to best list of friends. And the first one we have is the vampire friend.
Oh, God.
The taker friend.
Yes.
You know, that person who is literally, I say literally, that sounds bad. But anyway, sucking you dry. Maybe not literally.
It sounds bad.
Literally. I don't know.
Sounds bad, but listeners out there, brunch guests, I just say, you know what we mean.
No, we mean we not literally.
Not that
dry.
kind of. Their minds are in the gutter.
Might
take your mind out the gutter, people.
That's a friends with benefits type of friend.
Maybe for another podcast episode.
Another
Not
one.
this one.
So this one is the vampire taker friend who literally drains you in many different ways, whether it's financially, emotionally, and their negativity drains you. You know, they're the vampire who is sucking you dry of optimism. They make you feel like there's no point in trying anything new. There's no point in dating someone that you're interested in. There's no point in trying to tap into these brand new career aspirations that you have. They may even try to stop you from traveling if you're just going to Jamaica.
No.
Don't go to Jamaica for whatever reason. I don't know. You know, you have this person they're constantly requesting things of you without giving anything in return.
We're gonna have to talk about who was telling you not to go to Jamaica.
This is the second time I referenced Jamaica.
Yeah, this is the second time. We're
gonna have to talk about it. What am I holding in internally about somebody?
Who told you not to go to Jamaica? Because I want to know.
We had fun. That's all that matters.
I don't know who told you not to go to Jamaica. I rebuke them in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
So, we also need to keep in mind, what is it about you? So with this vampire friend, what is it about you that allows someone to drain you? So you have to look inside yourself, in my opinion, and say, well, what are you looking for something? Because if someone keeps coming to you and you see that you keep giving, and they keep taking, but you keep giving.
Yeah.
So what is it inside of you that keeps giving without a thought process to say, wait a second, I need to put a limitation on this person's taking? You know, because number one, it should be more of an exchange. It shouldn't be one person just draining the other of, emotional and financial, resources.
This is true.
So, do you think that if you do these things that somehow it's feeding something within you that maybe that's an unhealthy part of you that you're not paying close enough attention to? So I just want to put that out there.
And that's a good point. And I don't know. You have to do that internal work to figure that out. And our next friend, because what you're saying there, I think that we could definitely touch on that some more. It really is important to think about, what is it about you that's allowing yourself?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Our next friend on the list is actually the hater faux friend. Or as some people tend to pronounce faux as fox. So I'm going to say the hater fox friend, but those pronounced as fox. But the hater faux friend.
Faux fake.
Faux fake, funky fake friend. AKA the frenemy.
The frenemy.
Who's intentionally hating on you and the things that you do. They tend to deliver that underhanded compliment.
Why do they do that?
Why? Don't come to me and tell me, wow, the polka dot, it does something for you. Like, what does that mean? Polka dot does something for me. Polka dot shirt, it does something for you. Man, forget you. Leave me in my polka dot shirt alone, because I feel good in my shirt. You wish you had the polka dot shirt. And that's why you hate me.
Oh my God.
Underhanded compliments.
Okay.
The person who is possibly jealous of you. Again, hating on a polka dot shirt because they know they want it. They sabotage your efforts to succeed, which is really heavy.
Wow. To
think about having somebody in your circle who is actually intentionally trying to sabotage your efforts to succeed.
Yeah.
And then, they're the friend that seems helpful, but they really aren't. And I think about the person that the friend that has the ladder to get you out of the ditch, but they just reach their hand to you while you're in a ditch, pretending like they're trying to help, knowing that they really have that tool that could pull you out the ditch.
Wow.
That's that hateful friend.
A lot of times, that whole saying, hurt people. I feel like a lot of those hater friends, those frenemies, are suffering from that ailment. They need to go get an enema and purge it out or something. Oh gosh, because what is the point in having the energy to seem like you're helpful, but they're not helpful? It's just ridiculous.
That's kind of nutty when you think about
It's
it.
very
I'm glad
nutty.
you actually raised that point. It's kind of crazy. Why do you have the energy to pretend?
Yeah, to me, it takes too much energy to pretend. That's why I'm maybe too honest sometimes. It's too much energy to hold it in like that. It's ridiculous.
Well, listen, the right type of friend has to be able to receive that honesty. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
I receive it. But yeah,
true.
not everybody can.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to just keep it real.
Yeah.
And we have on our list, our next friend would be the enabler friend.
Oh boy.
And the enabler friend
doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound good. I'm not going to act like I haven't witnessed what that looks like and what that does to people.
Yeah.
I personally haven't had an enabler friend, at least not that I'm aware of, but I have seen the damage that an enabler friend can have on someone.
Yes.
And we're talking about somebody who intentionally encourages bad behavior to your demise.
Oh God.
But sometimes it's weird because I can't even preface it with intentional. This person is actually, they're doing it not in an intentionally bad way. They actually think they're doing the right thing by, offering you this. I know that you want to work on your addiction, but yo, man, I really hate seeing you down. You look like you're having a rough day. Take this hit of something. Take this drink of something. Because they think that they're doing the right thing by giving their friends something that will pull them out of a hard time.
Yes.
Not realizing that they're only just enabling that thing that person should be working on.
Yes.
Or they want to work on.
Yeah. It's I definitely have an idea what you're talking about. It's and then sometimes, like you said, sometimes people, they're doing it and they don't even realize that that's what they're doing. So for example, I think about the whole show 600 Pound Life.
Oh yeah.
And I think about how it's crazy to me. There's always somebody else there who is getting them the food, who's skinny as hell. Meanwhile, they can't get out of bed, can't move, can't do nothing for themselves. But and so you're like, how do they get this food to continually get bigger and bigger? There is an enabling partner in the house. Just about every single time. Maybe one person wasn't married. And I think when that person wasn't married, they still had a boyfriend or something, or a girlfriend that was coming over and helping them. Somehow there was somebody, oh my gosh, enabling the behavior, frying up stuff, big tables full of food. So I'm just like, and then when they go to see Dr. Now, as they call him, they then realize that they've been an enabler when he looks at them and he's like, well, how are you getting the food? Simple question simple question, but it's like, they don't even think about it. Like, well, I'm the one that can get up and walk. I'm the one that's going to the store. I'm the one taking out the bag. I'm the one choosing the food. But they're also listening to them too. They're yelling at them. The one that's the 600 pounds is yelling at them sometimes and forcing them to feed them bad things and threatening them. So it's
guilting them
and guilting them.
Wow. So there's that makes me think about how maybe some people are attracting enabler friends, but there probably are some people that are seeking enabler friends.
Probably. There are.
Because it gets to that point where you're like, well, I want someone to give me these things. And it may not have started out that way, but then again, there are people that are manipulative who can tap into certain qualities of a person and realize, you know what, if I manipulate this person enough, they will be my enabler. They will be able to go get my food. They will be the one to bring the big old bowl into the room and have me make what I need to do to make the greasy, unhealthy biscuits or something.
There's manipulation. You bring up a good point. There is manipulation involved. I suspect, I don't know, maybe I'll just throw out the word allegedly. Allegedly, in my head, the manipulation is the fact that person's on disability getting money. Okay.
Ooh.
That person's getting different types of assistance, and because that enabler is not working, because I never seen them have a job. I'm just being honest. I never seen them have a job. So their meal ticket is that 600-pound person that they have to listen to them.
You are on to something.
Okay, I want somebody to prove me wrong, but that's what it looks like to me.
How about y'all tell us in the comments if there's an episode?
Yes.
Which season, which episode did you not see somebody who actually was the enabler?
Exactly.
Tell us, because we want to see that.
I want to see that episode, because there's always an enabler. Always.
There we go.
Even if it's not the husband, the mama, all of them. And
a child?
There was a child that had to do all the work for the mama. And it was only like 5 or 6 years old. It was crazy.
Oh,
yep.
Dang.
So a lot of, every single time there's always an enabler. And that enabler is always skinny and can do it.
Brunch friends.
Wait, not us though, not us.
No, I'm saying brunch friends, please drop us an episode.
So yes.
Yeah, so we can see something different.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Our next friend is the competition friend. The friend who may secretly want to be like you.
And that is another stalker friend problem in and of itself, it makes me feel.
Oh, you know you're going to have to drop a gem about that after I tell you.
Go ahead.
Please drop that gem.
I don't know if it's a gem. I just thought about it. Like, some of these people that want to be like you, they literally are stalking your life.
Well, they
watch everything you do. But yes, let's go. Go ahead.
No, but that's okay. But that friend is, this is the person that does not want you to have more success.
Yep.
They don't want you to have more opportunities. They don't want you to have more physical things than they have. They compare their lives to you. The person who said, like, if you tell them, hey, I got a new job, this person is like, yeah, but I got a new job that pays way more than you with benefits, and I got the golden key to the executive bathroom, and I don't have to worry about people hearing me if I have bubble guts. I bet you don't have that. And it's like, oh, wow. I didn't even tell you how much I made, and you already know that your job pays you more. All right. Okay, friend, if you say so. But tell, you bring up a good point about the stalker.
Yeah, no,
I want to hear more about that.
No, it's true. It's literally that person, just like you said. They're watching your life. They're watching where you work. They're watching who you're married to or who you're dating. They're watching your children, how your children are performing in school, not performing in school, this and that. And it's this, they just gotta one up you every single chance they get. Or when my daughter was in this school play today. When my daughter was on Broadway last week. Like, stop playing. Your daughter wasn't on no damn Broadway last week. Okay?
It was on
Your
Broadway.
Your daughter was on the Three Little Piggies play at the local elementary school. Stop lying. But they do that all the time. It's just everything.
That's a good point. So that means our brunch friends, y'all have to pay attention to the person that seems like they're studying.
And it's those people that, in my opinion, they have like what's that saying? Like, you gotta, live like the Joneses or something. Are you watching the Joneses? Keeping up with the Joneses. Thank you. Keeping up with the Joneses, but it's like you're their Joneses. If that makes any sense. You're their Joneses, and they're trying to surpass you. They're not trying to keep up with you. They're trying to surpass you and try to put you down somehow. It's weird.
It is weird. We might have to say competition friend, aka weirdo friend. But there's a lot of weirdo friends on this list, maybe. I can't even call this maybe.
It's a whole bunch of weirdo friends, but that's why we got to figure out which category they fit into and move away from them.
Move away. And, thinking about the competition friend, I think the next best one would be the opportunist friend. And this is the friend that is always around you because of who you are associated with, and then also what you can do for them. What things can you give them? They have some of that taker friend quality about them, but there's a little bit something different about it. It's like they're seeking status through you. Yeah. And they're looking for opportunities, and they're looking for free labor as well. They're, those people that will ask you to, I'm thinking about a particular person. I hope that they do listen to this podcast episode. Okay. This particular individual that will literally use people to help them make movies. Knowing that they're not paying people to help them make these movies that are independent films,
and
they're literally using
I
people,
wouldn't
like
want to
have
make.
people standing in the cold.
I wouldn't want to help anyone make a movie and not get paid.
Yes,
That's insane. That's
have
free
you
labor.
standing in the
Slavery has
cold.
ended. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing that.
And they'll literally just like, you know what? I'm going to look for my come up, and you're going to be the person that's going to help me do it, but I'm going to use you as my little servant.
Insane.
And these same people will also steal ideas.
Oh
from
my.
because there's an opportunity that they see, and then it's weird because some of these things do overlap. There's like, they see that your idea can present an opportunity that would be great for you, and so they'll steal it so that they'll get the opportunity.
Not good.
Or they're seeking friends that are actually not even confident that they have good ideas. Like these people that these opportunists are friends with are people that may not even feel confident within themselves about their own ideas and their own creativity. And this person can see the strengths in that person's ideas and creativity. But rather than empower that person to be like, hey, you can actually do something great with your ideas, they'd rather just steal it and benefit from it.
Wow. Thieves, pretty much. Opportunist thieves.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. What is the next friend on the list?
Oh, this one's kind of funny. We have the Pinocchio friend.
Oh boy.
I think that kind of tells y'all straight up who this friend is. And this is a friend that is always lying. They lie about things to just make themselves seem like they are on a Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh my God. It's
like, I was up there, and I actually was there the day that Tupac got shot.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
They will make up stories, and they just make it up just for the hell of it.
Oh my gosh.
Like, there's no gain. They're not seeking anything. They just like to tell stories.
And it's sad because there's a lot of I know people like that at all ages.
Yeah.
At all ages. It's like it's not something that they get rid of easily. Some of them don't even realize that it's a lie. They just are used to just, I don't know, taking things up. And then other people that do it, they just call it, they say, there's professional words for it, flowery language, puffery, like where they made a business out of lying. So I don't know. This one is, but it's true. It exists.
Be careful.
Yes. You gotta watch out for it.
Because you don't know if they'll lie on you.
Oh gosh, well that one, they'll lie. They'll lie on anything, especially if they see their back is against the wall. They're gonna get in trouble. They're gonna lie.
That's wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't got time for that friend.
No.
And I don't have time for the next friend either.
What's the next one?
The leaky faucet friend. And no, we're not talking about a person that pee on themselves.
What?
They got leaks like that. That's not what we're talking about. We say the leaky faucet friend.
Basically, that they can't keep a secret at all.
Can't keep a secret. Everything, they will leak it out. Like their TMZ.
Oh my goodness.
Some other thing.
Oh my God.
They will and then they'll tell your business for entertainment too. And then we have next is the clingy friend. The friend who does not want to share you with anyone, and they're borderline obsessive. I've had friends like that.
Oh boy.
Run.
Oh gosh.
And they get very jealous when you develop other friendships, or when they see that you have past friendships. It's like, I'm mad at you for having friends before you became my
that's the part I don't really understand that. Like there's some parts where I'm just like, okay, I don't like it, but you can kind of see, I guess, I don't know if you have empathy for the person that's gonna be jealous about someone else. Well, I don't know why would you be jealous about someone else having other friends? They're supposed to just be your friend all day. Don't you have other friends that you're supposed to be? I don't know. Anyway, I don't get the point of being mad at somebody's friends that they had before you. That part is
Or
confusing.
even after you, what's wrong with you that you feel like, well, we've also had our theory about those people that might secretly be in love with you.
Oh
There's
God,
that.
help me, Jesus.
But, we might have to break that down another
That
time.
is a scary. That's
we've got
scary.
some good stuff.
That's scary. I'm not sure if I want to go down that rabbit hole. It's scary.
I know what that's like too.
Oh
And that's
my goodness,
not
Kiki.
fun.
Oh God.
I don't have a drink tonight, so there's that. Just know that this friend will cling to you in social settings too, like a baby.
Oh.
I have a 10-month-old.
What?
And this person will cling to you like my 10-month-old clings to me.
Can't do
it's
it.
Nutty.
Can't do it. And
then we have the yes friend. Not the same as the enabler friend, though.
Okay.
This is the person who's not critical enough. Sometimes, this friend might not even care. And they have no critical thinking skills. They'll just say, yeah, okay, whatever, yes to anything.
Just don't,
something that's ridiculous.
Don't call them anymore. That's what I would say.
Yes.
Don't call them anymore, because that to me, it's like, if you don't have anything good to give me, I'm not talking about anything. What's the point?
And let me make something very clear to y'all.
Yeah.
My KC ain't no yes friend.
God.
And I don't want her to be a yes friend.
Are you sure?
And I'm thankful. I'm grateful that she's. Let me tell you, there's some things that she just said no to. That I'll be like,
but I'm just saying, don't you sometimes want me to be a yes friend?
No. Me personally, no, I don't. Because I'm telling you, if you have a yes friend, they're gonna put you in a line of fire a lot.
And to me, I don't see that as being. What is the purpose of being a friend if you're gonna just tell them what they want to hear? I don't know. But you know what? There's a lot of people that they're looking for stuff that maybe internally they didn't get, right? So they didn't grow up with maybe, I don't know, love around them or something. So maybe when they get that yes friend, for them, they're not going to see a problem with it, because they're thinking, well, this person just cares about me. That's why they keep saying yes. To me, care is telling you the truth.
This is true.
So I don't. If I'm just saying yeah, either I don't care or I'm a liar. That's what I think. Because if you got common sense and you open up your eyes and you see something, if I see a car coming down the street about to hit you, I'm not gonna tell you ain't no car coming. Yes, keep standing there. That's bull. Try not to curse.
Y'all grown.
It's bullshit.
But you said something, and something else triggered. I'm thinking these yes friends actually might be scared too.
The yes friend. They
might actually be scared of hearing somebody get upset.
But you know what? You bring up a good point, because I'm thinking about somebody in my head right now that I knew years ago who used to bully all her friends. But that's another problem, because I'm not gonna. The reason I don't talk to that person is because even though they are grown now, what I feel like once you reach I'll give you passes in your 20s. Once you reach your 30s and stuff, you're grown. And if you're still trying to put that bully energy on me, we done. Because I just feel like you had enough time to grow out of it. And so for that particular person I'm thinking of, none of those people could say anything to her. None of the people around could say anything to her. She always wanted to just say this, say that, and like nobody could say anything to her. But then it's funny, because once they started to get their strength and fall, like really like go away. Totally gone from the whole, not just her, but the whole friend group of anybody else that was around her. She would see them as the problem. Like, well, they somehow had a problem and didn't have a reason to have a problem. So she never even saw herself as that person that they couldn't be real with them, like with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't see her role in the yes friend, culture that was built. I'm trying to find a word. Dynamic that it was. So it's like, there was a yes friend, but you bring up a point. They were scared. So that's why they became a yes friend. They were scared because that friend they were saying yes to was a bully. And when they found their strength to stop lying to themselves and lying to that person, they had to leave. And that person that was a bully saw them as weak and saw them as well, they have a problem. I don't have a problem.
That's interesting.
And I know who I'm talking about because I don't talk to that person because of that
I don't blame
behavior.
you.
I wasn't even like a yes friend, but and I wasn't a yes friend, but I would notice it around the person. And I would say that in those days, I wish I was strong enough to speak up when I was younger to say why you treat that person like that, to the point where it looks like they can't. But I'm more astute now, and I feel like I'm able to see that I could have been better in those situations for those yes people that were afraid.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they found their strength either way, because that person was a bully. That really was a bully.
But you know what? As you're talking, I think about the people pleaser friend as well. It's the yes friend is not necessarily the same as this next friend, but there's some qualities that are there that's somewhat similar. You know, this people pleaser friend, the giver friend, who gives so much of them, and this person was saying yes out of fear, so it's not really the same, but it makes me think about this type of person.
Yes.
You know, this people pleaser friend, the giver friend, who gives so much of themselves, whether it's their time, their gifts, their efforts, to others who usually don't ask for. These people actually don't ask for much in return, so they just give. So it's not the same, but for whatever reason, it kind of made me think about this friend. And they will also, well, this is the part that makes me think about that friend that you're talking about. This people pleaser giver friend will make decisions even though they don't want to make those decisions, in an effort to make others happy.
Wow. I see what you're saying there, of the similarity there. And I definitely understand what you're saying now with this. And then it makes me think about something else, because, for example, the person that I was referring to that acts like a bully did people please as well. So, for example, it was like the person would bully you, but then the next day you end up with a new gift, like a new shirt, randomly, earrings, stuff like that. Yeah, they would do that kind of behavior.
I don't know, my friend. It sounds like you actually created a bonus friend, which is the bully friend.
I didn't think about that before, but it was a bully with a people-pleasing thing, because it's almost like the person, even if they didn't admit it, knew they were bullying people, but still somehow saw themselves as a nice person, a giver, still wanted to be able to say they have friends, and saw these random gifts that they almost like you just, anyway, to me it's starting to sound like an abuser anyway. To me, it's the same type of thing. You slap me, and then now you're giving me a new car.
Give me a gift.
Like, I'm supposed to just forget about the slap. I'm not good at that. I was never good at forgetting about that stuff. So I would probably take the car and drive off with it and still not talk to the person. You know.
Thanks for the car.
Pretty
Bye.
much. But at the same time, it's interesting. But you're right. There's a people pleaser person, and it does have some sort of, in my opinion, self-esteem issue tied to that individual, because you have to ask yourself, why are you giving so much of yourself just to, in return, feel as though that person likes you? So you have to buy your friends? Is that how you feel? I think people should think about that. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's a great point, because what is going on that's making you feel like you need to give, and these people will actually may not even really appreciate it, because they know that they can always get from you without you, and they never have to give you anything in return. They'll be like, so and so, she be alright. He don't want nothing in return. You could, he'll bring the bottle of penny. She'll pay for dinner, and she'll pay for dinner next time because she paid for dinner the last 10 times. Yeah. And then it's interesting, because those people pleaser friends might actually think that they're being the next friend.
What's the next friend?
And they may think that they're being the caretaker friend, which is a good friend to have, which is a person who will make sure you are well taken care of. They operate from a place of love. They'll make sure that you get home safe. Did you eat? Did you get any rest? And it's just with love. So this person may confuse the fact that they give as if they're genuinely just being a caretaker, when they're actually being used as the
because it's a fine line. I feel like
Yes.
it's a fine line. So that's why you have to have like some sort of mental strength, some type of mental just constitution within yourself to be able to say, how far am I going? Right? I can give, I can care, I can love this much.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because you need to know yourself. That I think that everybody should understand that. Set your boundaries. There, you said it best.
And our next friend would probably be the friend to encourage you to set boundaries. And that's our empowering friend. The friend who will uplift you, inspire you, support you,
get them in your life now.
You.
If you don't have them.
Yes. They'll be so honest to tell you, hey, such and such is using you. You need to set boundaries. And they're saying it because they want to see you being empowered. They want to empower you. They want to see you be a better version of yourself.
Then there's nothing wrong with that.
No. And you have to also be in a good space, which ties into your point about like why it's important to know or be aware of the type of friends that you have and that you are attracting. And it just trying to figure out why. You have to know, you have to be in a space where you're actually ready to receive an empowering friend. Not everybody can have an empowering friend if they didn't work through some stuff, because they'll automatically assume that this person is trying to hurt their feelings by being lovingly honest. Not being brutally honest. And sometimes, depending on the friend, I won't even necessarily call it brutal. It's just a person's keeping tough love. Even if it's tough love, they're just taking it as you're just being tough without the love.
Yeah.
And our last friend on the list is the kinship friend. And it's the friend that becomes the family.
That's a lovely friend.
Casey, my kinship
thank you
friend.
Very much. Thank you, my sister.
No problem. You know my sister.
That's right. It's lovely. Yes. It's lovely to be able to have that kind of a friendship, I think. Because what the heck? This world is filled with so much crap. There's all of these influences pulling people every which way. I think that it's important to really pay attention to who's around you, because that's what helps you to stay grounded. That's what helps you to come back to reality, having that kind of friend.
Yeah.
All right.
And so our food for thought is ask yourself, which friend am I?
Yep.
And why? And then ask yourself, is your friendship style rooted in who you are as a person or where you are in life? That's pretty much what we've been tapping into this whole time. Is it based on where you're at right now, and that's why you're attracted to somebody, as the type of friends that you're attracted.
Yes. Birds of a feather flock together.
There we go.
That's what y'all should keep in mind. Amazing stuff. So, at this point, we'll get into what you should do if you're participating in an unhealthy friendship. So, if you feel like you are participating in an unhealthy friendship, you should take a moment to think to yourself, what are you attracting? Your friends are a reflection of you in many ways. You should keep that in mind. And if you don't like what's being reflected back at you, think about all the friends on that list that were unhealthy. You need to do something about it. So what should you do? Well, it's important for you to take a look at where you are in your life and understand that how you feel about yourself in your current state may impact the type of friendships that you're participating in and accepting in your life. So, yes, you do need to see that. And this doesn't mean that, okay, if you're having a hard time in life, that all of a sudden you're going to have to gravitate to other individuals that are, negative or doing something that's not necessarily in their best interest or your best interest. But you do need to pay attention to your state of mind and the people that you're keeping around you. Why are you keeping them around you? So in order to do this, you have to say to yourself, what do you want out of friendship? Like in the beginning, when we talked about, what kind of impact do we have on our friendships, and in the friendships, what kind of impact do friendships have on our life? What do you want out of your friendships? Okay. Do you want healthy friendships? Sure. The obvious answer is yes, but there's a lot of people operating in ways in which it doesn't seem that way, because you're looking at the different types of friends that they have, and it doesn't line up with necessarily what they're saying. So just in taking stock of friends, where you are in your life, what you're willing to accept, number one, you should have limits on your friendships. I believe they're necessary. Why are you doing the things you're doing? For your friends, with your friends? To what extent will you go for your friends? Limits are not a bad thing. Limits are things that help you to understand yourself better. It's not always just about that person. It really comes back to you. Yes, they need help, but do you have the capacity to help? If you don't know something, speak up and say, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. I can probably look it up and help you find. You don't have to allow yourself to be drained. Like some of the friendships we talked about earlier, vampire friends and such. Yeah. If you're taking stock within yourself and asking yourself these questions, you will begin to say, where can I put a limit here? Where can I put a limit here? No, Sally, I cannot see you every weekend. No, Billy, I cannot watch your son every Friday, or whatever it is that the friends are asking, whatever it is. No, I will not go drinking with this person every single Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday. Some people drinking every night of the week. Who knows? Okay. Number 2, friendships take work to stay healthy and emotionally beneficial to both parties. Okay. A lot of people think that, well, if you had a good time or you seem to have good conversation with a person, that somehow it's like, I don't know, like that friendship's in the bag. Like there's nothing to be done. You don't have to do anything. That's not true. That's not true. Things change. People are growing all the time. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. But nevertheless, if your goal ultimately is to have a healthy and emotionally beneficial friendship, then it's going to take work to do that. And sometimes the work is not fun. And I'm not going to say that I'm great at it. I'm probably the worst at it ever. But for the most part, that should still be the goal. What you think, Kiki?
Yeah, I agree. You have to, it goes back to having that openness and that honesty with the friend and within your friendship. Because if you genuinely care about this person and you know this person cares about you, why wouldn't you want to work on your friendship the way you would work on any other relationship? People get it twisted. They think, well, I should only invest in working on my romantic relationships. There are so many other relationships that you need to work on. And your friendships is one of them.
And now we're going to take a few moments to get into that friends should be compatible. Are your friendships based on convenience because you grew up in the same neighborhood, or you have the same friends, family friends, or some type of situational or situationship? Or is it a trauma bond? Kiki.
Oh, trauma bond.
Here's the bomb for you all today. Is it a friendship that reminds you of the dysfunction that you are used to dealing with in your family? Kiki, why don't you talk a little bit about a trauma bond?
A trauma bond is an attachment that is created through abusive or traumatic childhood experiences, or just repetitive childhood experiences that are negative, and it's with the caregiver. And you start to see that the patterns in that relationship that you have with that caregiver starts to internalize as a learned pattern of behavior for attachment, whether it's with your significant other, but in this particular case, we're talking about our friends. And the best way to think about it is, why would you remove yourself from something that feels familiar? So if this toxic, traumatic relationship or friendship feels familiar, and it reminds you of something when you were growing up, that might be the reason why you have this friendship.
And it's a good point, because a lot of people, they don't even think back that far to say, they just think, well, I'm just friends with this person. Oh, Sally is just like that. Billy's just like that. No, you are in one another's lives for a reason. Because we could, we pass people all the time, and we don't necessarily take them on as like regular friendships in our lives. There's something about that person, in my opinion, that somehow it's more than just fun. You're choosing to stay connected to them, even though there's an incompatibility. And it's worth looking into whether or not there's a trauma bond at the basis of why you feel like you must stay connected with that person. And then you must look at it further to say, is it healthy for me to do this? Is it healthy for me to continue attaching and associating myself with that person? So,
just because it feels like home doesn't mean you need to stay there.
Thank you. That's exactly what people need to understand. Here's a drink for thought. Grab yourself a Get the Right Friend TV.
I want that now.
I want it too. It sounds really good.
It sounds like it has like some tequila in it,
maybe some amaretto. I don't know if you can mix those two together, but I mix everything together, so I don't know.
It's
and some
why
sangria.
not?
Just swirl it all around, and I'll take it back.
You want to mix all the pieces that you can to have the
there
right friend team.
Yes, get the right friend team. That's right. Show me your friends, and I'll show you who you are. That's a quote said by my mother and someone else wise that I don't know, but it was said by her a lot. Okay, said by her a lot.
All right.
Well, Kiki, this was a very good episode. Yes. I really enjoyed going through all the different friends, and it really made me think to myself throughout my life, those different friends, how I dealt with them, who's no longer in my life, how I've evolved to recognize all of those different categories of friends that are toxic. A lot of them are toxic on that list. They're toxic.
And it definitely gave me a reason to say, you know what? I'm happy with the friends that I have right now.
Yes.
Definitely put things into perspective. Like, I'm so grateful for the friends that I did keep around. Happy for my own emotional and mental development, where I was like, you know what? Some friends got to go.
That's a big deal, because a lot of people don't know when to stop being attached to those friends. And that's a very good point. Very good point. Well, ladies and gentlemen, brunch guests, please tune into our next episode, where we will be discussing how to get your mind right with your relationships. Oh boy, Kiki. I don't know if they're gonna be ready for that one. I hope I have to drink for that one, because that one's gonna be a heavy lift. Heavy lifting. Oh my goodness.
We have now come to the end of our brunch, and we want to thank you all for joining us today. We hope you will join us again for some more food and drink for thought, and of course, a lot of laughter. Once again, we encourage you to subscribe, like, comment, and share this podcast. But until next time, make sure your mind is fed, your soul is at peace, and your glass is full of joy.